At one point in our lives, we all asked ourselves, what is the point of all this? Why do I need to be able to explain 3 different interpretations of one word just because Shakespeare decided to repeat it a couple of times? Why do I need to know why King Richard lost the Third Crusade? It doesn't make sense. If I wanted to learn about history, I'd watch Game of Thrones. The word education comes from the word educate, and the word educate means to give intellectual information to someone to benefit them. How does analyzing of mice and men benefit me? Imagine 10 years down the line, I'm sitting at a desk typing up a document. My colleague isn't going to come up to me and say, "Yo, Ridwan, explain 2 ways in which discrimination is portrayed in Of Mice and Men." It's just not going to happen. The education system should be teaching us about career paths and interpersonal skills, maybe even about relationships, because we all know how teenage boys struggle with that. We should be learning about road safety and how to pass our driving tests. Did you know that 80% of kids aged 5 to 16 don't know the speed limit on a motorway? So why are we being forced to learn how to factorize quadratics instead of something that has a direct impact on our lives? It's not like when I'm driving down the motorway in my brand new Lamborghini Aventador, I'm going to see a sign saying speed limit equals 2x over 4. And have I talked about how flawed the education system actually is? Nowadays, students are outsmarting their teachers. They're using common sense and logic to answer questions instead of what they've been taught. These students will go the furthest in life. They are the definition of thinking outside the box, and they prove why the education system is wrong. Let me give you an example. A math question displayed a right angled triangle, and I asked the student to find x. Now, a normal student would spend 5 minutes answering the question using the formulas and methods that he's been taught. This particular student, you know what he did? He circled the letter x. How has no one thought of this before? And it's not like he was wrong, was he? The question asked to find x, and so he literally found x. I'll give you a few examples of the greatest minds of all time who didn't have an education. Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. Winston Churchill, the most renowned politician of the 20th century. Abraham Lincoln, the most famous US president of all time. Ironically, William Shakespeare, the only man to have ever lived that can cause depression to all students of the 20th century. And finally, the man whose name equates to genius, the man who some people consider the greatest mind of all time, the man behind E equals MC squared, Albert Einstein. These men prove why the education system is wrong and prove why the progression of our nation is not through unwanted education, but through hard work and determination for what we truly want to achieve.